Hi crypto kings and queens, my name is Natalie. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone's accounts it's okay after the fall that we did have on Bitcoin. Looking at the higher time frames right now, we are closing or just below the previous all-time high. Looking at the daily, we did close below it, and right now I could definitely see market coming back down even more. I'll show you where I think the market can come up to for the pullbacks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 levels right now on the charts where I see the market can come to, and I'll show you why I do believe these areas is something that we need to look at. Looking at Ethereum did touch this trend line that I did have so perfectly yesterday, so we did have a touch of it. Market comes back up, and the same thing right now. If we're going down to the lower time frames, we're having different levels where we can see market either coming up to and respect comes back down again, or we just might break this trend line and see market continue back to the downside. Remember guys, we always have to follow price. And yesterday we had some huge volatility to the downside. We actually did have the Fibonacci on Ethereum right here where the market came back down to. So for the market to have the pullback to these levels, it is okay. And remember, I'm no financial advisor. You need to look up everything yourself first. But please continue watching this video and I'll show you what I see on Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. Looking at Bitcoin right now, we are on the weekly chart. I'm having a horizontal line combined with the previous all-time high, and we're actually right now above below it. If we go into the daily, okay, so we did have a huge spike to the upside. We created a new higher high, all-time high, I'm sorry, at 69,196. Market comes back down, and as we all know, that's usually happens when we're creating a new all-time high. The market slams to the downside. So we are right now looking at the weekly. We're having the wick on the horizontal line. Looking at the daily, this is how it looks. So we are having the last yesterday, so we did close below the previous all-time high. So what I definitely see the market coming back down now. We're also going to the 4-hour chart to see more clear on what's going on. So we had 2 fake outs from this level right here. So market tried to break it, or 1 fake out. So market created a new all-time high. Market comes back down, creates another one, but we're closing below the previous all-time high, which where the market potentially can pull back up to is pretty far away, but it could definitely do that. And that is if we're taking a Fibonacci from the highest point to the lowest point, and that is from 68,436 to the lowest point right now, and that is 64,726. So we're having the 61% at 66,995. So that is definitely something I can see market spiking up to. So we could just have a wick to the upside, then market continues to the downside. That could also be sometimes we have double tops, sometimes we have 3 double tops. So that could be the third one. Also, maybe a head and shoulders, but the head should be above the shoulder. That is something that I definitely could see Bitcoin doing right now, because we did close below the previous all-time high. So what happened to my trade? I got out. I had my stop loss just above entry. So for me, it was no problem when we had this downfall. I actually got out before this even happened. So I had my entry around this level right here at 65,890. So before the push to the upside and then the market slammed to the downside, I actually got out when we had this wick right here around 1 o'clock yesterday. So I got taken out by break even. So for me, it was no problem. And where the market potentially can come to, and at that point, I want to see how it looks on the higher time frames. So what I can do is that I'm taking my Fibonacci, because we're still in an uptrend, so market just need to do the pullback. So we're having different pullbacks to look at. So we're taking for Fibonacci from 43,186 to the highest point, high right here, and that is 67,053. Still the same area as before. The market is at around 52,000 at that level. If we're coming back down, it's definitely the 61 I'm looking at, and that is also combined with a previous higher high. Market creates higher low, higher low, continues to the upside. The market just doing what it's supposed to do as always. So, but besides to that, we could also see the market coming up a little bit. But remember, guys, at 64,963, we can also make that a whole number. So we're taking it and change it to 70. We can just copy and paste that to the lower time frames and see what's actually happening. And this is how it looks on the lower time frames. So we're going to the 15 minutes just to see. So this is market can come up to this level too. So we can take it from the wick right here. We take it to the body, just have a little box right here. So between these levels, the market could definitely come up also and retest. Just depends on how much the market or how volatile the market is. We could just have a small pullback to certain levels for then market continue to the downside. So this is how it looks on the higher time frames. So I could definitely see market either respect 64,974 or coming up to this wick that we're having at 65,658 or the 61% at 66,984. So these are different targets that I'm having to see how the market reacts to them. I also see 67,953 as a target for the market to come to. So these are just potential areas where the market can reverse from to the downside. But if we're starting to definitely break to the upside, we just have to change the plan. But because we're having huge momentum, I could definitely see market coming back down. So this is what I see on Bitcoin. We're starting off with Ethereum and looking how it looks. We actually came back down. So I had two levels yesterday on the Fibonacci. I had a smaller one that obviously wasn't respected, but we came back down to the higher time frames Fibonacci, and that was around 4,500. And that, can you see how we perfectly did? Can you see how we perfectly did touch this trend line that I did have? We did come back down, so we can take this Fibonacci away because it's obviously not respected. We are right now coming up to a previous support and a previous resistance. So we just might bounce between 4,600 and the levels from the Fibonacci at 5,538. So market can go in between these, come back down to the trend line one more time if we are going to the upside, or we just might break this level, continues back down. But I'm still gonna have my drawings on during the day, so when I'm having my live stream, this is such a good thing to look at, because now I really know that this trend line is very respected based off that wick that we did have against it. So right now we do have an important level here at 4,600 to see how the market either will break to the upside or come back down. We can also take a Fibonacci. If we're taking this one away, we're taking a new Fibonacci from 4,854 to the lowest point at 4,560. So market could come back up to the 61% at 4,742, and then you see market coming back to the downside one more time. And then obviously we have to see how the market reacts to the trend line once again, or if we will just continue to the upside. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. This is all I got for today. I'll go through more on the live stream during the day, but remember, guys, it's okay to have stop loss taken. It's okay that you got on break even. Everything is okay. So this is a game where you have to accept that you will have losses. It's okay, nothing wrong with that. We just live and learn. Oh, it's just 1 hour before London session opens, so guys, remember, when the market is moving from one session to another, the market moves very much, and also from London to New York session. So let the market just have its overlap, and then we can go into the market and start to see what's happening. We see each other in today's live stream. Have a good day. Bye bye from Sweden.